But it's not just about the money. But we do have some new news, though, right? Todd Archer, he tweeted that Michael Parsons is back in his jersey today. Michael Parsons in his jersey today for practice. Brian Schottenheimer said that he wanted everybody to look the same when asked about him before.
What are we doing?
Hey, he wanted everybody to look the same. Rules are rules. This is the way that things work. Hey, Adam, we got some more stories, and we're talking about hold-ins. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson is a hold-in with the Cincinnati Bengals, but also Terry McLaurin. What are you hearing about any movement on the contract?
They're also at a standstill, RC, just like the Cowboys and Micah Parsons, just like Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals. The Commanders and Terry McLaurin have been unable to bridge their differences. We heard Terry McLaurin last week come out and issue a trade request, which he went to the head coach, Dan Quinn, with first to let him know that he would be issuing a trade request. That trade request has come. Like the Cowboys, the Commanders have no intention of trading McLaurin, but there is a standoff there in Washington, just as there's another standoff in Cincinnati. Three notable standoffs at this point in time, with Trey Hendrickson not getting the current contract that he's looking for. The issue is guaranteed money. The two sides will have no problem on the length of the deal, on the average of the deal, but the guaranteed money in the deal continues to be what holds up any deal between these two sides. And speaking of a difficult situation working out a deal, James Cook is now staging his own hold-in after practicing in the early part of camp. He is seeking a contract from the Buffalo Bills, and right now, he does not believe that he should be practicing. He called it business, and asked over and over again, he repeated that word, business. This is about business. James Cook is doing his business right now, and he's not practicing with the Buffalo Bills as he continues to seek his own contract extension.
Well, the one thing we know about James Cook, he's been good for business in Buffalo for Brandon Beane, for Joe Brady, and for Josh Allen. And Brandon Beane addressed the Cook hold-in this morning. Listen to this.
Yeah, it's not something we were fully aware of until, shortly before practice. So, I get it. I understand it's the world we're in, I guess. There's been constant communication with his agent, either with myself or Kevin Meegank, and with Jimbo. And so, I wish we weren't here. This is my 9th season here. We've never had a player miss due to a contract or anything like that, so that's disappointing for me.
Listen, guys, James Cook is a home run hitter, right? He rushed for 4 touchdowns of 40 yards last season, the second most by any player, only behind Saquon Barkley, and actually one ahead of Derrick Henry. And check this out, bro. Saquon and Henry were first and second in total rushing attempts last season, while James Cook was tied for 19. Mina, when you look at James Cook, how much of a difference does he make versus the other running backs of the Buffalo Bills?
I like the whole group, Ray Davis and the Ty Johnson as well, but I think Cook is unique in his vision and his elusiveness, and that's captured in, to me, a stat. He was contacted behind the line of scrimmage at the second lowest rate of any back in football last year, behind only Jahmyr Gibbs. Ray Davis was 17th. And I think that's really important because not only is he's a home run hitter, he helps keep this offense on time. Look, the Bills do not have a group of world beaters at receiver. They have an all-world quarterback, but they also have a dominant run game. And I don't like the idea of taking Cook out of this group because I thought he was exceptional last year, and you saw him really develop, particularly when it came to that vision.
James Cook is the second most important person on this offense. Obviously, Josh Allen at quarterback is, and on the unit of the offensive line, everybody's offensive line matters. But when it comes to the importance of somebody on an offense, he's the second most important player on their offense. And to Mina's point, we showed the stat, RC, you talked about the home runs. The Bills don't have this unbelievably exotic run game. There's a beauty in the simplicity that they go through. And you know how comforting it is for Joe Brady to be able on first down to call some of those basic runs when they had 6 offensive linemen on the field, and him to look down at his call sheet and go, all right, I'm either calling 1st and 10 or I'm calling 2nd and 6.
Yeah.
There was very few negative runs, very few you missed the holes, very few you tried to do too much, and so that rare ability of you got us 4 because that's all that was there, or you got us 15, 20, 40, and you made it the last third of it on your own, that's unique. And I hope Buffalo gets this done because he is vitally important to that offense.
But I think you mentioning that he was number 2 also alludes to the point that him being number 2 and being as good helped number 1, who is Josh Allen, be much better, much more efficient with the football as well. But
Making,
all of those things kind of go hand in hand. And one of those receivers that Josh Allen was throwing to was Khalil Shakir. Adam, he was injured in practice. What's going on there?
Well, see, he's got a high ankle sprain. They're saying he's week to week, but this is going to be a multiple-week injury. And now there's a question as to whether Khalil Shakir will be ready for week 1 when the Buffalo Bills play the Baltimore Ravens, who have their own injury question to a skill position player in Isaiah Likely, who's got a fracture in his ankle. And so there are questions about whether Shakir will be ready for week 1 against the Ravens. There are questions about whether Likely will be ready for week 1 against the Bills. Both teams have questions, but Khalil Shakir really has developed into Josh Allen's probably most reliable target, and now his status for week 1 is up in the air.
Listen, he's such an important piece to that offense. That's why they signed him in this offseason. You hope he's healthy very early in this season. But guys, we're just getting...
This jacket is a direct reflection of all of you who have poured into my life and in my career. I might be the one wearing this jacket, but I hope every time you see this jacket, you see yourself.
Had it not been for sports, I probably would never cross paths with half of you in here. And that's why sports is such a great reminder to us as humans that we're not divided as people may think.
I'm deeply grateful for this incredible honor. We all share a deep love and respect for the game of football, and it transcends time and place.
I'm not going to bore you with talks of the University of South Carolina because, well, without them, unlike Antonio Gates, I had to go to college and play football to have a chance to stay here.
I just hope by watching me today, you understand that anything is possible. Not just in football, but in the game of life.
As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders!
As one half of the first brother selected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you got to come up here and stand next to me, my man.
So as a Norseman by blood, because I am Norwegian, it was only fitting that I became a Viking.
The last time I was here, you said that you were the only pro football player in the Hall of Fame that could say this, that you were the second best player in your own family. Well, I agree with that statement, but
Hey, several legends of the game will be eligible for induction for the first time next year. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, and Frank Gore headline that list. Also, head coach Bill Belichick will be on the ballot for the first time after the Hall of Fame changed its bylaws last year to allow coaches to become eligible sooner after leaving the NFL. Also, guys, in case you missed it, check out this photo captured by Steelers DK Metcalf going up and grabbing a pass at camp. Aaron Rodgers is hoping to see some form of that this season. Now, guys, for more of what's going on in Steelers training camp, our Steelers reporter, Brooke Pryor, joins us now. Brooke, what have you been seeing at Steelers practice?
RC, I can tell you I have not seen much of those one-handed catches from DK Metcalf, at least when they matter in those team periods, 11 on 11, not even in 7 on 7. In fact, at yesterday's practice, the last time the Steelers were out on the field in Latrobe, Aaron Rodgers tried for DK Metcalf deep twice and missed him both times in that 7 on 7. So I asked wide receiver Scotty Miller, hey, are some of these misconnections because you guys didn't get a full offseason with Aaron Rodgers? Obviously no OTAs. During minicamp, he wasn't in the team periods. And he said, yeah, 100%. But then he said that we can learn through failure. So the good news is they are doing a lot of learning. And on the flip side of that, RC, you're going to like this. One of the reasons the Steelers offense doesn't look great is because their defense looks pretty incredible. Big reason for that, of course, is the addition of Darius